Welcome back in, everyone, to EA Sports coverage of the NFL. We're just getting started in the first quarter. To throw on second down is Stafford. And that's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Throwing is Stafford. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you just
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Set! 180!
Out of the gun, Stafford. Room to run inside the 40. Throwing right, and that's complete. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Set! 180! Hot!
On first down, Stafford here. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The numbers in last week's game for Benjamin. 3 catches, 63 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On second down, here's Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will take it in. A touchdown. Alex Collins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And some room to maneuver.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. first down throw from Mayfield. Very quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 111 for yards, and a touchdown.
Third in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong number. That means he's being consistent each and every time out.
Hurry up, here we go.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Mayfield. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Mayfield, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there, because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things, because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Stafford on first down. Allen's got it over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On second down, here's Henry. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too.
And Owen coughed it up, and it'll be a turnover. This is going the other way. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position. I
don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the counter, it's Henry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 37. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. This didn't work.
Not at all, and the communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person, no one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close, and close quickly.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
All right, here we go. Boom, landing.
They begin with a run by Mixon. Spinning away. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. Give him 52 yards on the ground. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
That's Njoku over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time, second and goal.
Well, if you do read man covers, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 2 now, second and goal. They come up in an offset eye. Nixon trying to punch it in. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll go with a keeper. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield taking it in. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. So he's able to sneak it in, and credit to the guys up front.
Oh, without a doubt, because they have the leverage on this play. We always talk about low man wins and one-on-one battles. That's exactly what happened there. Their offensive line, lower than the defensive front.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. That time a 6-play drive, and it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Lutz now to kick this one away. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We've played a quarter here on Christmas Day. 10-7 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Brooklyn football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Now a handoff to Henry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The reception good for 7. It's third down. This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Stafford. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
And the Browns getting set to go. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Mixon with a first down carry. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here we go now.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Browns on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So you had to figure that sooner or later someone was going to top Matt Prater's record of 64, and officially this one will go in the record books at 65.
You saw him lining up for this, and you just thought to yourself, you know, he couldn't make this. And sure enough, to be here to see it, that's pretty darn awesome.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Stanford. Drops it underneath for Collins. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Well, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Third and long for Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So now following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll give it to Mixon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Mayfield down. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to kick points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Set, lady.
A first carry now for Alex Collins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. He finds Malcolm Mitchell here. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A first down carry for Henry. Derrick Henry all alone. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. It's a big run that time by Henry. 49 yards on the ground. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Set, lady.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in, enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL.
Set, lady.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Derrick Henry hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Point after try forthcoming. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 2. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Working out of the gun. Mayfield escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Browns send out now. Back deep is Carlos Henderson. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Set, waiting.
On first down, it's Stafford. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31. On first down, Stafford under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Stafford barking out signals and trying to get his guys set quickly. To throw on second down, Stafford, and that's complete to the right side. It's Allen, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. And his kick is right there. It's good. And with that, they'll take a one-point lead here in the second. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. Green, 39.
Mayfield on first down. Shakes off the side. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. So we've reached halftime here. Charles has already thrown off his headset. He's out here. He says, it's Christmas Day. I'm going home. We're not done yet, though. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you at home as we take you around the NFL on this 25th day of December. We'll begin with a couple of AFC heavyweights from years past. Pittsburgh taking on Denver. And it's the Steelers who are out in front. Dalvin Cook, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. From there, we head up to the Pacific Northwest. Check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Seahawks seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, we head to the City of Angels. Check on the Rams at home in L.A. And that game is tied. They take on the visiting 49ers. In the game you're watching, it's Matthew Stafford who's had it working in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already. And that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you. And we welcome everyone back for quarter number. Number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Mayfield to throw it this time. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down. The Browns on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. Here's a run with Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2.
All right, here we go.
Mayfield looks to throw, and this is incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Stafford now to throw. He's got it. The tight end, Allen. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw is Stafford. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown! Chris Conley, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Now Stafford will come up, try to get his guys a 2-point conversion.
Set. 180.
They're going to try and run. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy, because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 34.
Now let's go.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Dumps it off to Mixon. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go now. 319. 319.
Here's the give to Mixon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there for the Browns. 15 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got the guy that has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They'll run here with Mixon. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, Mayfield. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Timmy Jernigan with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Stafford on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do.
Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And some space here. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
Come on, let's go.
Now they try the right side here. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Green, 39.
On third down, Mayfield. And it's caught. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So where would they be without his leg? Well, they'd be losing, that's for sure. Now 4 field goals, and as mentioned, this last one ties the game.
Yeah, but you know that kickers get a lot of grief, right? A lot of jokes about kickers, how easy it is for them. It's really nice to see these guys coming through in the clutch.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They begin with Henry. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
4 down, check. Set, 180.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Stafford now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Now Stafford. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. On 2nd and 10, Stafford throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. Kelvin Benjamin. And all the way in for the touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys are going to take the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. This is taken near the 13. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2. Alert for anything out there. Watching for trouble.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Lutz will look to add the extra point. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good, and that will tie our game here in the third. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, we get a peek at Kelvin Benjamin as he heads back out there now. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good. But there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
And when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Set, 180.
On 2nd down, Collins. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Set, 180.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And Incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. So a change of possession here on the punt. Now the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass and you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. Back now just east of Manhattan in Brooklyn. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our fourth quarter tie. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Set. 180.
From the 50, it's Stafford. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Set. 280.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, That route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here we go now. Green.
Mayfield now from the 50. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
First and 10, Mayfield. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal. A handoff to Mixon. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Browns have moved out in front. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. Now a hit and a loose football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
And the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. Allen's got it over the middle. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. On first down, Stafford here. Throw left side complete. That's Cole. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here's Stafford. Drops it underneath for Collins. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for the offense.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Mitchell. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Going right side here, and that's complete. He got 29 yards that time. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They'll go option to the short side. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they run with Mixon. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Hurry up, here we go.
Again, it's Mixon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Mixon. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Hurry up, here we go.
Wiggles free, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Now let's go. 3:19.
He may try and run for this. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive goes 8 plays, and a long run there in the end to top it off. Lutz now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't
Yeah,
you?
I am impressed. That
Thank
means
you.
2 weeks if I'm not mistaken,
does,
correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone's talking about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. Now Stafford. And he's got his man on the out route. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the 1st down yardage. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. Here's Stafford. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to the running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball, and that didn't happen on that play.
They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. And with the clock ticking under 50 seconds now, he spikes it. Throwing again is Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cole. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left.
Monday.
Again, it's Stafford. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Stafford. Oh, he stays up. Fights him off. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.